캐나다에서 트렌딩 1위입니다.
Okay, I want to hear again. Can you go through them? Finland number 1.
핀란드 1위,
Germany number 1.
독일 1위,
Kenya not number 1. So the Archbishop is listening. Trending, you're saying where? Globally number 3.
전 세계적으로
So
3위입니다.
blessed people, even as we start, we had the statistics shown today. It's a big outreach.
우리가 지금 통계를 여러분에게 보여드렸습니다. 정말로 많은 사람들에게 지금 전파되고 있습니다.
The total of 49 nations, that is the global midweek service that happened on 2nd of March.
3월 2일 수요일 예배에 지금 53개 나라에서 이 방송이 나갔습니다.
Okay, so again, we saw 50. Okay, the other nations, before I left, the other nations, I think they moved them for some reason. The 2nd of March, okay, 23rd of February, 53 nations, and reached how many million people were reached globally? If you flash them there, I will see them.
2월 23일 53개 나라에서 생방송이 중계가 됐습니다.
A total of 53 million views, million people reached. That is the service on 23rd March. We reached 53 million people.
2월 23일 3,500만 명이 들었습니다.
Swahili is quiet.
Katika ibada ambayo ilitendeka tarehe 23 mwezi wa Februari mwaka 2022, mataifa 53 yalifikiwa.
Watu milioni. Can you go back to it, because we don't have much time tonight. Tonight there is no time with Swahili at all. Again, 53 million people reached.
5,300만 명 사람들에게 소식이 전해졌습니다. 그리고 함께 보는 분들도 계십니다. 동시 시청하시는 분이 계실 것입니다. 틱톡만 3,500만 명입니다.
Then Twitter trending globally, that second, we are still on 23rd rather of February, globally number 1, and then trending in those countries and reached 9,692,174 people, plus, but some of them, watch together in a big screen.
2월 23일에 트위터에는 여러 나라에서 지금 트렌딩이 됐었고 969,174명이 시청했습니다.
That was on Twitter.
이건 트위터입니다.
And then on Facebook we reached 40 million engagements. That is 40 million engagements in Facebook.
그리고 페이스북에서는 4천만 명이 넘는 사람들이 접촉됐습니다.
Kenya 18 engagements, a million engagements rather, and then Brazil 4 million, Canada 470 only, and then Cameroon 2.3. Down there, they're quite a number. You see them there, 3 point something Spanish, and it's down 1.3 Slovakia. Down as you go on. And so this is 23rd. Blessed people, before we get started, we're running late. 23rd of February.
이것은 2월 23일의 통계입니다.
2022. Even if you cut those figures into half and make it 20 million people, Facebook and Twitter, you cut into half 4.5 million, and then TikTok, you cut into half 25 point what million. That is still massive.
이 통계자를 반으로만 자른다고 해도 그 역시 엄청난 숫자가 될 것입니다.
mtandao wa Twitter upeane milioni 4.5, mtandao wa Facebook upeane hivyo.
Sasa wewe leo utafanya kazi vizuri. Hata wewe mwenyewe umeona kwamba Twitter imekuwa 50 something. Twitter ilikuwa 9 point something. Yeah, Twitter was 9. Oh yes, that's okay. So can we move on? I don't have time to the next one. So the next report. So this is cumulative. Cumulative is about 433 posts. We don't have whatever that means, and about 180. There are many posts over there, but that is massive outreach.
Hiyo ni kufikiwa kwa ajabu kukubwa kabisa kabisa.
And then 27th of February 2022.
2022년 2월 27일
59 nations.
tulifikia mataifa
59개 나라에서
Qatar, Canada, Gambia,
전파됐습니다.
Nigeria, Lithuania, Russia, Denmark. We are normally trending in the Russian Federation.
unaweza kuona pale
And then
Qatar, Canada,
Mexico, Germany,
러시아,
Angola,
멕시코,
everywhere. So
독일,
just be reading
앙골라,
as she gets through whatever. So Moldova, Namibia, and
몰도바,
Israel and everywhere.
나미비아,
unaweza
이스라엘.
kuona kila mahali Qatar, Canada, Gambia, Nigeria,
so next,
Lithuania
please.
na Russia. Hivyo basi
She can read. She sees them there. She can read all of them as she finishes. Can you put it back for us so can you read a bit of them to Swahili? So again, the countries that are reached, you can see Germany, you can see Czech Republic, you can see Qatar, Canada, you can see Ghana, Colombia, Tanzania. Can you read to them, please, in 1 second?
mataifa ambayo yamefikiwa mweza kuona Kenya, Marekani, Uganda, Germany, Angola, Saudi Arabia, India, Tanzania, Colombia, Bahrain, Burundi, Australia, Estonia, Czech Republic,
So
Australia.
about 59 nations on that 27th of February 2022. And then next, please.
Hivyo basi mataifa 59 yalifikiwa hiyo tarehe 27
Now,
Februari mwaka
TikTok.
2022. Alafu sasa TikTok.
네, 틱톡입니다.
TikTok on that day, 38.8 million views.
Alafu TikTok
네, 그날
katika siku hiyo,
3,880만 명이 시청을 했습니다.
8.8 walifikiwa.
That is very serious.
Hiyo
이건
ni
매우
kumaanisha
엄청난
sana.
숫자입니다.
You can see all the countries and their views.
Unaweza kuona
네,
mataifa yote na
해당 국가와
And
그
the different hashtags.
시청 뷰를 봅니다.
hashtags tofauti tofauti.
Very powerful, very, very powerful.
Ya
매우
nguvu
강력합니다.
kabisa.
Very serious.
Nyeti kabisa ya kumaanisha.
You can see all the hashtags.
Mnaweza kuona hizo hashtags
해시태그가
zote.
나옵니다.
38.8 million views. TikTok alone.
milioni 38.8
틱톡만으로
peke
이렇습니다.
And next, because of time.
Halafu inayofuata kwa sababu ya wakati.
And then Facebook cumulative, we don't know how that, the permutations there, how the analysis is done. Then Facebook, they reached 27,447,010. That is huge.
Halafu kwenye mtandao
페이스북 같은 경우에도 2,744만 7천 명이 시청을
And
했습니다.
total Facebook engagements 14,116,500. This is huge number. This massive outreach.
hii ni kufikiwa kwa ajabu kabisa.
그리고 인게이지먼트는
Kabisa,
1,400만
kabisa
명입니다.
katika mtandao wa Facebook mazungumzo ambayo yalikuwepo ilikuwa milioni 14,116.
Thank you. So you see the Facebook total outreach, and then you see Facebook total engagements.
Hivyo basi unaona ya kwamba
네,
Facebook
페이스북 리치와 페이스북 인게이지먼트가 따로 나와 있습니다.
And then next, please, because of time.
Alafu
And then
inayofuata
March 4th.
halafu tarehe 4
아, 그리고 3월 4일입니다.
Okay, March 2nd. Okay, March 4th. This is recent.
hii ni tarehe 4 mwezi wa Machi, hii ni hivi majuzi.
The March 4th, you see the total trending in those globally number 2, because Ukraine. When you look at Ukraine, Russia-Ukraine war is trending number 1, and number 2, you see the one that commanded that war globally on Twitter. You see the events that I commanded, the global war, the world war you see now taking shape in Russia against the whole earth, against the West, and then that's number 1 normally, and then number 2, then you will see the mega prophets that prophesied it, that commanded it into being. It's amazing.
hivyo basi katika mtandao
네, 지금 글로벌 2위인데 그것은 두 선자님께서 예언하고 성취된 그 러시아 우크라이나 전쟁 그것이 2위를 차지했고 그리고 2위가 우리가 했던 그 해시태그입니다.
halafu nambari 2 yule ambaye alitabiri vita hilo ndilo ambaye sasa ako nambari 2.
And so you see total reach out to 26,374,095 people. That is now Twitter.
halafu sasa
네, 트위터에서는 2,637만 4,095명이 시청했습니다.
374,095. Hivyo basi hiyo ndio watu ambao walifikiwa.
And then more, there's a way they analyze it again. So that is now TikTok.
Sasa hiyo ni
네,
mtandao
틱톡입니다.
TikTok 4.5 million views.
hivyo basi
네,
TikTok
4,050만 명입니다.
milioni 40.5.
And TikTok sometimes does not take account until you have watched to the end.
na hivyo basi wakati mwingine mtandao
가끔 틱톡은 마지막까지 시청하지 않으면 숫자에 포함되지 않는 경우가 있습니다.
So this is very serious.
hivyo basi hii ni nyeti kabisa.
엄청난 숫자입니다.
40.5 million views.
kuona kwa watu
4,050만 명입니다.
40.5.
And 40.5 million views.
watu walioona ni milioni 40.5.
And then you see now some of them are watching together.
Alafu unaona
어떤 사람들은 가족이 함께 보기도 합니다.
Families on their TV screens.
kama familia katika runinga zao.
And then you have nations that followed live telecast.
halafu kunayo mataifa ambayo
그리고 생방송으로 중계됐던 나라들입니다.
That is now March 4th. That is 36 nations.
hiyo ni
네,
tarehe
3월 4일은 36개국이었습니다.
You can see South Korea, Cote d'Ivoire, Sweden, Argentina, Germany. You see United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, all the way to Finland, Jamaica. You see Canada, Australia, Ghana. Very powerful.
unaweza kuona Korea Kusini, Cote d'Ivoire, Sweden, Netherlands, France, United Arab Emirates, from South Africa, Argentina, Austria, Italy and Nigeria.
Thank you so much. So very, very powerful because of time.
ya nguvu kabisa kwa sababu ya wakati.
And
감사합니다.
then Facebook on that day was 27.4 million views.
halafu
Million outreach, reaches.
halafu
네, 그리고 그 페이스북은 2,744만 7천 명에 도달됐습니다.
And then total Facebook engagements were 14.11 million.
halafu mazungumzo yaliyokuwa katika mtandao wa Facebook ilikuwa milioni 14.
And then there is Instagram also, the Friday night service.
halafu kuna Instagram pia
그리고 인스타그램 그 금요 촬영.
You can see the storm, the Instagram storm was 3.436 million posts.
na mnaweza kuona ya kwamba
That is amazing. That's massive.
hilo dhoruba kubwa kabisa la Instagram ilikuwa ilikuwa 1400.
No, rather, the posts are 3,436 posts. I beg your pardon, right there on your screen.
ile ambayo
네,
ilichapishwa
포스트는 3,436 포스트였습니다.
And then cumulative, you see 493,000.5.
alafu kwa jumla mnaona
그리고 그 누적은
hii ni kubwa kabisa.
49만 3천입니다.
Blessed people. So we thank our broadcast team very much.
hivyo basi watu
네, 방송팀에
Led by
감사드립니다.
Senior Bishop Lusweti for the great work they are doing here, and of course the entire team that is involved in many countries to bring in this message to many nations. We thank the Lord that you are serving here, because this is a very critical time. Thank you for standing up to receive that. Thank you very much. So very, very much. So now, blessed people, very powerful time in the history of the church.
복된 여러분, 지금은 교회 역사에서 굉장히 강력한 시간입니다.
And it's a very critical time also.
또 매우 또 중요한 시간이기도 합니다.
Because today, as you saw,
오늘 여러분이 보신 것처럼
the U.S. yesterday had Joe Biden, the U.S. president, had a conversation with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine.
조 바이든 대통령이 우크라이나 대통령 젤렌스키와 대화를 했습니다.
And in that conversation, they promised them, they were asking for weapons and no-fly zone, the Ukrainians.
우크라이나 그 대통령은 그 무기 그 지원과 한번 그 비행 금지 구역 설정에 대해서 요청을 했습니다.
And so they were also asking for fighter aircrafts.
그리고 전투기도 또 지원 요청을 했습니다.
And because the pilots in Ukraine are trained on Russian MiGs, the MiG aircrafts, MiG fighter planes.
우크라이나 그 전투기 조종사들은 그 미국이 그 소련에서 제공한 만든 미국기에 익숙해 있기 때문에.
So the MiG fighter aircrafts, that's the type they have trained on.
그 우크라이나 조종들은 미국기를 그 익숙하게 다룰 수 있게 훈련을 받았기 때문에.
Yes, they are not big planes; those are fighter planes. So those are strike aircrafts. So they are trained. Ukrainian pilots are trained on MiG aircraft. If Swahili can just listen to me, it will be a very powerful night. So they have the MiG aircraft, the Russian-made aircrafts. That is what the pilots in Ukraine are trained on, the Air Force pilots.
우크라이나 전투기 조종사들은 러시아에서 만든 미국기의 훈련을 받은 상태입니다.
They are called MiG aircrafts. There's MiG-21, MiG-15, 17, all that.
미국이라고 부릅니다.
And so now,
그래서 이제
yesterday they asked the U.S. to request from Poland and all the other nations around them that have MiG aircraft to give them those aircrafts.
그래서 그 우크라이나는 폴란드 여러 나라에 그 미국기를 지원해 달라고 요청을 했습니다.
The MiG, again I say MiG, the Russian ones. And so eventually the U.S. president asked them to give the MiG aircraft from Poland and the other countries.
그래서 미 대통령이 폴란드 여러 나라에 그 미국기를
Okay, just listen to what I'm saying. I don't know what is going on.
우크라이나에 공유해 줄 것을 요청했습니다.
The other countries around there, Latvia, Poland, and the rest, to give the MiG aircrafts to Ukraine.
Hivyo basi hatimaye rais wa
조 바이든
Marekani
대통령은 라트비아나 폴란드 같이 미국을 가지고 있는 나라에게 그 전투기를 우크라이나에게 공유해 줄 것을 요청했습니다.
the Romania,
yale mataifa ambayo yanazunguka pale Latvia, Romania, Moldova.
and today, when they were planning to offer those aircrafts, even the U.S. Secretary of State went there.
Na wakati leo hii
그래서 그 전투기를 공유하려고 했었습니다. 오늘 그리고 그 미 국무장관이 그쪽에 출장을 갔습니다.
Then Russia said
halafu Urusi
러시아가
wakasema
말했습니다.
that if any nation offers aircraft to Ukraine,
ya kwamba kama taifa
그래서 어떤
lolote
나라든지
litatoa ndege kwa
전투기를 우크라이나에
that will be
지원하면
considered an act of aggression.
hiyo
그것을 공격 행위로 간주할 것이라고 경고했습니다.
Russia will consider that that nation has attacked it.
hiyo basi Urusi
그
itachukua
공유한 나라가 그 러시아를 공격한 거로 간주하겠다고 그랬습니다.
Defend itself in the manner best for itself.
na Russia watajitetea
그렇게 되면 또 러시아는 또 자국의 이익을 위해서 방어하겠다고
Also,
말했습니다.
Russia said if anyone tries to put a no-fly zone on Ukraine,
na Urusi
그리고 또한
wakasema ya kwamba kama
우크라이나에
taifa
그
lolote watajaribu
비행 금지 구역을 설정한다고 하면
then it will be considered an act of attack, aggression to Russia. And Russia will respond in any way it deems fit to defend itself.
itachukuliwa kama
그리고 적절한 조치를 취할 것이라고 또 말했습니다.
hivyo basi
Sambulia Russia, tafadhali, if you listen well, wow, we have serious trouble. Very big trouble.
na hivyo basi Urusi wataichukulia kama ikiwa hivyo basi taifa lolote litachukua hiyo tukio la kuweza kuweka maeneo ya kutopita kwa ndege katika juu ya Ukraine, hivyo basi Russia watachukulia kwamba hiyo taifa watakuwa wameshambulia Russia, na basi itakuwa mbaya kabisa ya kutoaminika.
Russia will defend itself in the manner it deems fit. That means nuclear weapons.
na Russia watajilinda
러시아는 모든 수단을 다해서 방어하겠답니다. 그것은 핵무기를 말하는 것입니다.
kwamba silaha za nuklia
To defend themselves, as I said.
ili kwamba kujilinda, kujitetea.
And then again today,
그리고 오늘
Tena leo hii
they also said
pia walisema
that if any nation
ya kwamba kama taifa
어떤 나라든지
will allow its airfields,
watatumia ama
자기
kuruhusu
자국의
maeneo
공군
ya
기지를
the air
사용하도록
also
허용한다면
maeneo yao ya ndege ama
viwanja.
vitu
Okay,
ama
if you don't know,
ama viwanja vya ndege,
that if any nation will allow their airfields to be used by aircrafts that will leave from their airfields and join this war and come to Ukraine,
kama taifa lolote
어떤 나라든지 자국 공군 기지를 이용해서 그 전투기가 우크라이나 전쟁에 참여하게 된다면
they will consider it as an act of aggression and an attack against Russia, and Russia will respond very swiftly in a manner that the world will not believe.
그리고 러시아는 신속하게 대응할 것이며 세상은 우리의 대응에 놀라게 될 것이라고 말했습니다.
Urusi watajibu kwa njia kali kabisa kabisa kwa namna ambayo ulimwengu wote mzima hawataamini.
So and then France today,
그리고 프랑스가 오늘
owing to that alert, they have put all their nuclear facilities on high state of alert.
kuzingatia hiyo tahadhari,
프랑스는 그 경고에 따라 그 자국의 핵무기를 모두 경계
facilities on a high state of alert.
wameweka vituo vyao vya kinuklia katika hali kuu kabisa ya tahadhari kubwa.
경보 단계로
There
격상시켰습니다.
is a very high state of alert across all the other countries.
Halafu pia kunayo tahadhari kubwa kabisa kabisa kote kote katika hayo mataifa mengine yote.
Britain also, in this morning, they were saying they also have their own nuclear weapons.
Britain pia asubuhi ya leo walikuwa nasema ya
그리고
kwamba
자국도
wanazo silaha
핵무기
zao
있다고 또
So
말했습니다.
there is a situation.
hivyo basi
그렇기 때문에 지금 상황이 악화되고 있습니다.
Just go back and listen to what Putin is saying.
푸틴이 한 얘기를 들어보겠습니다.
Because this is not part of it. I don't know why it's there. But what Putin is saying, this is stuck.
Zelensky had a Zoom call with more than 300 U.S.
Putin,
lawmakers,
you know, Putin
pleading
is
for
the
help
Russian
in getting
president.
NATO to declare a no-fly zone
You know,
over
sometimes
Ukraine.
there are people who probably don't
Понимание
follow their news, right?
того, чем это чревато и чем это грозит для всех. Сейчас мы слышим, что нужно сделать понимание того, чем это чревато и чем это грозит для всех. Сейчас мы слышим, что нужно сделать бесполетную зону на территории Украины. Сделать это невозможно на самой территории Украины. Можно только с территории каких-то соседних государств. Но любое движение в этом направлении будет нами рассматриваться как участие в вооруженном конфликте. той страны, с территории которой будут создаваться.
네, 지금 그 푸틴이 얘기하는 것은 어떤 나라든지 그 비행 구역을 금지 구역을 설정하는 것은 그 러시아에 대한 직접적인 공격 행위가 될 것이라고 생각할 것이라고 말했습니다.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by now.
So very serious. Thank you for removing that. Very serious.
nyeti ya kumaanisha kabisa,
Very serious. Extremely serious.
nyeti kabisa
매우
kabisa,
심각한 상태입니다.
Extremely serious right now.
nyeti kabisa sasa hivi.
They said if any aircraft will leave Poland, for example, and move towards any fighter aircraft, move towards Ukraine, it will be considered an act of aggression and war. And so they will strike Poland.
Hivyo basi walisema ya
그래,
kwamba
폴란드 같은 경우에 그
vita
전투를 공유하기 위해서 그 전투기를 우크라이나에 보내게 되면 그것은 러시아에 대한 공격으로 간주하겠다고 말했습니다.
kana kwamba ni tukio la kushambulia dhidi ya Urusi. Hivyo basi itakuwa mbaya kabisa kabisa.
They will consider it as an act of aggression, an act of war.
Hivyo basi wataichukulia
예, 전쟁 행위로 간주할 것이라고 말했습니다.
tukio la kivita.
Very serious, blessed people.
Nyeti kabisa
매우 심각합니다.
The prophecy that I gave, the words of my tongue, the words of Yahweh.
unabii niliopeana
제가 선포했던 예언, 그 야외 그
The prophecy
예언,
I gave January 11th, the year 2021.
2021년 1월 11일에 했던 예언,
Yes, so very serious.
매우 심각합니다.
Very serious prophecy.
매우 심각한
And I say
예언입니다.
it now strictly based on my words, there is a historic war coming to the earth.
제 혀의 선포에 그 근거에서 역사적인 전쟁이 일어날 것이라고 얘기했습니다.
And right now, very tight situation.
그리고 지금 매우 긴박한 상황입니다.
The nations are brandishing their nuclear weapons.
사람들이 이제 자국의 그 핵무기를
They are
지금
brandishing their nuclear weapons.
사람들에게 휘두르고 있습니다.
Thank you for even seeing as I was doing. So anyhow, so the nations are brandishing their nuclear weapons.
여러 나라들이 이제 자국의 핵무기를 지금 손질하고 있습니다. 그리고 핵전쟁에 대해서 말하고 있습니다.
Serious situation right now.
매우 심각한 상태입니다. 상황입니다.
And yet you see
여러분을 보시는 것처럼
a huge convoy that is moving towards Ukraine.
그리고 엄청난 컨보이가 우크라이나를 향해서 움직이고 있습니다.
The capital city.
키우를 향해서 움직이고 있습니다.
You wonder when they will encircle the city, what they will do to the city.
그래서 그것이 그 도시를 포위한다면 무슨 일을 할지 한번 생각해 보십시오.
At the same time, they have the thermobaric bomb.
열압력탄을 가지고 있습니다.
That one melts even walls and human beings evaporate. You can't even find somebody to bury. It just remove them from existence.
벽도 녹이고 사람들을 완전히 증발시키기 때문에 매장할 수 있는 시체도 찾지 못합니다.
Because they first shoot the first mist, which is the cloud, and you smoke it when it enters your lungs. Then the fire comes, it finishes, even the walls melt.
그래서 그 가연성 기체를 마시게 되면은 그 폭탄이 터질 때 완전히 사람들의 그 내장이 터지게 됩니다. 그리고 그 벽체까지도 사라집니다.
The second one is called a second charge. That is the one that brings the fire after you have been held.
그래서 그 가연성 기체를 마시게 되면은 두 번째 그 점화가 되면은 완전히 폭탄처럼 터져버립니다.
Very serious.
ya pili inaitwa second charge ambayo ndio sasa inaleta hiyo moto ndani mwako, halafu inalipua kabisa kila kitu kabisa na kuyeyusha hata ukuta.
They melt the walls. They smoke people that are hidden in underkeys.
Na kutoa kabisa na kuyeyusha
그 가연성 기체가 그 지하실에 있는 사람도 찾아내서 들어갑니다.
Tight situation. If you understand, then you know that these two prophets of Yahweh have come to destroy the earth.
지금 매우 긴박한 상황입니다. 여러분들은 이 두 선자가 지구를 파괴하고 왔다는 것을 알 것입니다.
Totally destroy the earth.
완전히 지구를 파괴할 것입니다.
Look at the coronavirus, the volcano in
코로나
Tonga.
바이러스,
You see the
ton가의
earthquakes all over
해저
Peru,
화산,
Chile, Haiti, Mexico,
페루, 칠레, 하이티,
Japan,
칠레, 하이티.
all you put the earthquakes together, you put the wars that have been taking place all the way from Tahrir Square in Cairo into Libya, into all the way Iraq, Syria, and then you put this together plus the corona, then you understand.
ukiangalia virusi vya
그리고
corona,
또 그
uangalie
아랍의
volcano
봄이
kule
일어났던
kutoka,
그
uangalie
이집트라든지
mataifa
리비아라든지
kutendeka kote
그 다음에
kote,
각 나라에 일어났던 지진을 보게 된다면 여러분들이 무슨 일이 일어나고 있는지 짐작할 것입니다.
halafu sasa uweke
That
pamoja
the two prophets of Yahweh have commanded.
haya
The
matukio-
judgments they have brought against the nations of the earth.
hukumu
이것은
ambazo manabii wawili
그 두 선자가 명령한 것이며 또 그 지구에 가져온 심판의 내용들입니다.
kwa kweli wakati umekwisha, Masihi yuaja.
Okay, then you've said that. Then you know that they have come to destroy the earth.
Basi wajua
이제 여러분들은 그 두 선자가 지구를 파괴하기 위해 왔다는 것을 알
Then you
것입니다.
know that the tribulation is near because they are making you taste a little glimpse of what they are going to do in the tribulation.
이것은 여러분들이 환란 때 일어날 일을 조금 맛볼 수가 있는 것입니다. 그리고 이 두 선자가 환란 때 어떤 일을 할 것인도 짐작할 수 있습니다.
So if you're wise enough, you prepare well and you enter the kingdom of glory.
여러분 지혜가 있다면 준비를 잘해서 하나님의 나라에 들어갈 것입니다.
Because you can tell there is no time.
여러분이 아시는 것처럼 시간이 지금 없습니다.
It's a very serious time in the history of the earth.
지금은 지구 역사에서 매우 지금 심각한
Look at
시간입니다.
the missiles that are being shot. Let them put it on the screen for you. The missiles being shot from the trucks, and those are serious missiles.
트럭에서 발사되는 그 미사일을 보게 되면 이것은 장난이 아닙니다.
Very serious. That is unbelievable.
hiyo ni ya kutoaminika.
The words of my tongue.
maneno ya ulimi
제 혀의
wangu
선포에 따라
The Lord is doing this that you may fear His prophets.
Bwana anafanya
주님께서
hivi
이 일을
ili
행하시는
kuogopa
것은
manabii
선자를
wake.
두려워하게 하기 위한 것입니다.
That when you meet these two prophets, now you will fear them.
Ya kwamba wakati
여러분들이 이 두 선자 만나면 여러분들이 이 두 선자를 두려워할 것입니다.
tunapokutana na hawa manabii wawili wa kutisha Mungu Baba, sasa mtawaogopa.
The Russian military launched more than 100 ballistic and cruise missiles into Ukraine last night, also seizing an airport less than 20 miles away from Ukraine's capital of Kyiv.
A huge blast in the center of Ukraine's second largest city. Look at the destruction in Kharkiv, which is about the size of Philadelphia. This guy was shooting a selfie video when a missile struck. Rubble rains down. One civilian posted a video diary as she walked through the rubble.
Russia bombarded yesterday and in the night and this morning the historical center of Kharkiv. This is the downtown. Show this to those in Russia.
News tonight.
Najua ya kwamba ninazo habari za kipaumbele usiku wa leo.
But first of, I know that I have breaking news tonight.
Najua ya kwamba
오늘 밤에도
ninazo habari
브레이킹
za
뉴스가
kipaumbele
있습니다.
usiku wa leo.
But first of all, we need to handle this active prophecy, the words of my tongue, actively being fulfilled right now on the face of the earth.
lakini sasa hivi tunahitaji
그 전에 그 제 그 예언이 지금 실시간으로 성취되고 있는 이것을 우리가
It's being fulfilled.
다뤄야 합니다.
I don't want to speak Swahili because I have a global audience. So, you know, Russia, this is very severe. Look at that.
hii ni nyeti kabisa, angalieni hiyo.
It started before dawn. Ukraine woke to explosions around the capital, Kiev. It was the same across the country. These pictures from Kharkiv in the east. Enormous blasts, also in the city of Dnipro.
Очень много ракет.
Helicopter gunships hovering above a power plant. Other power stations were targeted as well, including the Chernobyl nuclear power station, raising fears of an even greater disaster. Ukraine's president held an emergency meeting with his top staff, pledging the fight will go on.
Russia claims to have destroyed 83 Ukrainian military outposts. They've launched a three-pronged assault from the east, north, and south.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Exclusively witnessed a confrontation today at an airfield outside Kyiv. Tell us what happened and what it tells you about Ukraine's chances of keeping control of its own capital.
Yeah, I mean, it was astonishing, but it was unexpected as well, because we were making our way to an airfield near the capital, Kiev, just on the outskirts of it, that had been attacked. We knew there had been fighting there over the course of the previous hours. It's an essential airbase that the Russian special forces, we understood, had been dropped there to seize in order to establish a bridgehead so they could bring in more forces. So we went there. There was a checkpoint at the gates. I was told by Ukrainian officials that the Ukrainians had it back under control after fierce fighting. And I spent some time talking with the soldiers outside, saying, who is it that's in control right now? I said to the commanding officer in my broken Russian. And he said, it's the Russians that are in control. And I said, okay, so where are the Russians then? And he said, we're the Russians, which was incredible, because we thought they were Ukrainian forces. I looked at their insignia and suddenly realized that, we had stumbled upon and we'd encountered that forward group of Russian special forces that had been put into that base just a few hours before by helicopter, had engaged in fierce fighting, and were now facing a counterattack from the Ukrainian military. At that point, we stepped away and witnessed this. Inside, in here, against the wall. How can I find you? Should we run that way? We've got divided for the driver as well, okay? Let's move down this way against the wall. I need to check the
Russian forces have attacked oil and gas facilities, sparking huge
Very serious, blessed people.
매우 심각합니다.
Very, very serious. Thank you. So now,
Sasa
very, very serious, blessed people.
nyeti kabisa, watu wabarikiwa.
The words of my tongue.
Maneno ya ulimi wangu.
제 여호와의 선포,
The words of Yahweh.
Maneno ya
야훼
Yahweh.
하나님 말씀,
Very serious.
Nyeti
매우
kabisa.
심각합니다.
Very, very serious.
Nyeti sana kabisa.
The Lord wanting to introduce us to you,
Bwana akitaka
주님께서
kutambulisha
우리를
sisi
소개하시는 것입니다.
that you may know what we will do after the church is taken away.
ili mpate kujua kile
교회가
ambacho
데려감을
tutafanya
당한
baada ya
후에 이 두 선자가 무엇을 할지를 보여주시는
See,
것입니다.
obviously, these are not your friends.
Munaweza kuona
이
kwa
두
wazi
선자는
kabisa
여러분의
hawa
친구가
sio
아니라는 것이
marafiki zenu.
분명합니다.
These are not your relatives.
Hawa sio
친척도
watu wenu
아닙니다.
huko.
You can see very clearly
Munaweza kuona
분명히
kwa
알 수도
wazi
있습니다.
that they have a very serious mission on the earth
Ya
to
kwamba-
fight for the Messiah.
메시아를 위한
misheni
예,
iliyo kali kabisa duniani
엄청난
kupigania
미션을 가지고
Mesia.
있습니다.
Compel the nations to finally honor the Messiah.
ili kuyalazimisha
그리고
mataifa
열방의
hatimaye
메시아를
kupata kumheshimu
예, 존귀
Mesia.
여기도록
You
할
can
것입니다.
tell that the Lord has given them maximum ultimate power
Na
to
mnaweza
finish, to destroy the earth
na
at
mnaweza
any time as they want.
mnaweza
그래서
kuona na
주님께서는
mtambue kwamba
그들로
Bwana
하여금 이 두
anawapatia
선자로 하여금
mamlaka
언제든지
na
지구를
nguvu
끝낼 수 있도록 엄청난
kabisa,
권능과
ili kwamba
권세를
kumaliza
부어주셨습니다.
kabisa dunia wakati wowote wanaotaka.
And as many times as they want.
Na mara nyingi
그들이
kabisa kama
하고 싶을 때
wanavyotaka.
원하는 만큼
Russian troops have finally come out to fight the West.
wakati ulionyeti kabisa,
러시아 군대가 마침내 서방과 싸우기 위해서 나왔습니다.
kupigana vita na magharibi.
And if you see the training they were doing up there in Belarus,
Na ukiona yale mazoezi ambayo walikuwa
그리고 벨라루에서 훈련한 것을 보면 미사일,
including the testing of nuclear missiles.
kuhusisha hata
그리고 핵미사일을 또 훈련합니다.
But before we go to that,
lakini kabla
그거
tuende kwa
얘기하기 전에
just that you may know, Russia has one of the most sophisticated anti-aircraft systems.
러시아는 가장 그 발전된 대공 미사일을 갖고 있습니다.
Sophisticated, they call it S-400.
S-400이다, S-400이라고 부릅니다. 대공 미사일입니다.
ile mitindo ya kupigana vita,
Again, I said anti-aircraft missiles and systems.
yale makombora
대공 미사일
ya kupigana
시스템입니다.
vita, na pia mitindo ya kupigana vita.
Okay, anti-aircraft. Okay, I think I know I have a translator who is quite lowly. She will learn these things eventually, but that's all right. So they have deployed some of them in Syria.
Hivyo basi wamepeleka baadhi
그리고
yao kule
S-400은 또 시리아에도 있습니다.
Added 7,000 soldiers in Syria also.
시리아에 또 7,000명의 군인도 있습니다.
7,000 kule Syria pia.
It is very easy though. Yes, they added 7,000 soldiers recently in Syria.
Waliongeza
최근에 7,000명의 군대를 시리아에 더 추가 배치했습니다.
hivi majuzi
Yes, at the onset of the war.
katika kuanzishwa kwa vita.
전쟁이 시작될 때부터
So they have some of those anti-aircraft systems in Syria.
wana baadhi ya hiyo
그래서 시리아에도 바로 그런 S-400 대공 미사일들이 배치되어 있습니다.
Israel fears that system.
이스라엘도 그 시스템을 두려워합니다.
And that is one of the most sophisticated anti-aircraft systems in the world, on the earth.
그건 세상에서 가장 첨단 미사일 중에 하나입니다.
kabisa ya kimakombora katika dunia.
Ya kupiga vita za kijeshi, ya kupiga ndege za kijeshi. If you want to put it for Swahili to understand, anti-aircraft, kupiga ndege za kijeshi zikija kuzipiga.
Ya kupiga ndege za kijeshi zikija alafu kuzipiga.
Anyway, so even Israel fears that system.
이스라엘도 그 시스템을 두려워합니다.
Even the Americans fear that system.
미국도 그 시스템을 두려워합니다.
So they can detect aircrafts even from far away in many other nations deep there.
그 시스템은 그 여러 나라에 있는 그 목표물을 탐지할 수 있습니다. 폴란드 넘어서까지 탐지할 수 있습니다.
Even in the ocean.
바다까지.
That's why they are such a threat now to the warships, the aircraft carriers that USA had, which have always been the show of US muscle power. Now this system of anti-aircraft missiles that Russia has, they have used hypersonic system to make it move 10 times faster than the speed of sound. So now it has neutralized the aircraft carriers of USA. They can detonate them inside the ocean. And they are guided by, they can guide them in the journey. Along the way, they can guide it by laser until it strikes the target. Very serious. I know I've said so much for our translator because we bless the Lord that, you know, yeah, so that is how it is. So Russia has the S-400 system.
러시아는 S-400 시스템을 가지고 있습니다.
And it can detect aircraft very far, even in the ocean.
아주 먼 거리로부터 그 적 전투기를 탐지할 수 있습니다. 바다까지.
So anyway, so they can detect aircrafts even deep into the ocean.
바다 깊은 곳까지 그 전투기를 탐지할 수 있습니다. 그리고 그것을 격추시킬 수 있습니다. 레이저 유도 미사일입니다.
So if you want to release aircraft from any base to come to Ukraine, they will see it right away. That is what the Americans fear right now.
그래서 다른 나라에서 전투기를 지원하려고 하면 러시아가 미리 볼 것입니다.
The words of the Lord is asking the nations to repent.
주님께서 열방에게 회개할 것을 명령하고 계십니다.
Even in Israel, in Syria, you see every time the Israelis do the counter-terrorism missions into Syria to strike down the Iranian installment, the Iranian movements within Syria. When Israel wants to do that, they must ask for permission from the Russians there to give them a corridor.
이스라엘이 그 시리아 내 테러리스트들 그 기지를 공격할 때 그 S-400 미사일을 들여하기 때문에 러시아의 그 허락을 받고 한다고 말씀하십니다.
yale ndege za kivita ambayo inatoka Iran ambayo inataka kukuja katika Syria na kulipua Israeli.
Or anything that the Iranians have brought into Syria against Israel. Everybody knows that war. It's been going on.
ama chochote kile
또는 그 이란이 그 시리아에 무기를 가지고 들어올 때도 또 역시 그렇게 합니다.
Very, very good that we have a translator. Yes, thank you. So you're saying so many times the Iranians they are trying to use Syria to be able to attack Israel.
mara nyingi kabisa
이란은 이 시리아를 통해서 그 이스라엘 공격하려고 그렇게 시도하기 때문입니다.
But even when Israel can detect, they can detect those facilities. Anytime there's a movement, they detect. They're very sharp.
이스라엘도 그런 움직임이 있을 때 그것을 쉽게 탐지할 수 있습니다.
But they have to ask for permission from the Russians, from their bases there, so that they're given a corridor to go and strike down, do those counter-terrorism missions.
그러나 공격하기 전에 미리 러시아에게 허락을 받고 그 테러리스트 그 무기나 시설을 공격합니다.
Because of those S-400 missile system, the anti-aircraft systems.
S-400 미사일 시스템 때문입니다.
It's unbelievable.
ni ya kutoaminika.
It's such a tremendous hour.
Ni saa ya
지금은
kutisha kabisa.
엄청난 시간입니다.
Very, very serious hour.
Saa
네, 심각한 시간입니다.
And also, you know that the hypersonic missiles that the Russians have developed, they have put nuclear warheads on them.
그리고 극초음속 미사일에 러시아는 핵무기를 탑재할 수 있습니다.
ambayo inaitwa hypersonic, hayo makombora ya kasi kabisa ambayo yanaitwa hypersonic ambayo Russia wameweka pale.
They have put nuclear warheads on them.
wameweka
핵탄두를 거기에 장착할 수 있습니다.
nuclear juu yake.
And they have put it inside Russian submarines.
na wameweka
그리고 그 러시아 그 잠수함에 또 탑재할 수 있습니다.
ya Urusi ya kivita.
And so in there, they have those nuclear arsenals, nuclear missiles in those submarines.
na pia katika hizo ndege
핵무기 탑재 핵무기 탑재 잠수함을 가지고 있습니다.
They have made them 10 times speed of sound, hypersonic.
wameifanya iende kwa
이 미사일들은 그 극초음속으로서 음속의 10배 이릅니다.
sijui ni sekunde ngapi unahitaji ili kwamba upate kufika Nakuru kutoka
So
Nairobi.
that is how fast they move.
Hivyo basi hivyo ndivyo inaenda kwa kasi kabisa.
But they have them in those submarines which are submerged totally. They can just appear somewhere and shoot them hypersonic.
lakini wako na zile ndege
그래서 그 잠수함에서 갑자기 수면으로 부상해서 그 극초음속 미사일을 언제든지 쏠 수 있습니다.
kasi kabisa.
The Lord is asking for repentance across all the nations of the earth.
주님께서는 모든 나라에게 회개할 것을 명하고 계십니다.
And again, you know that Russia and Ukraine have been the world's food basket, the world's granary for grains.
na moja ya kwamba
여러분이 아시는 것처럼 러시아와 우크라이나는 세계 식량 창고 역할을 했었습니다.
For example, Egypt it imports 85% of its wheat from Ukraine.
kwa mfano
이집트 같은 경우에는 그 밀의 85%를 우크라이나로부터 수입을 합니다.
ngano yao toka Ukraine.
And also, Ukraine supplies most of the sunflower oil that is used globally.
na pia
그리고 해바라기 기름을 전 세계에 공급합니다.
Kitchens globally and restaurants.
na pia Ukraine ndio
전 세계 모든 그 부엌과 또한 식당에서 쓰는 그 해바라기 기름이 거기서 나오는 것입니다.
kote ulimwenguni.
And they supply corn also.
또한 옥수수도
And
공급합니다.
Russia supplies same amount.
na pia
그리고 러시아도 똑같은 양을 공급을 합니다.
Now, when the supplies have been cut, every country like Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, what countries are in big panic right now.
hivyo
Their
basi
food reserves are going down.
hivyo basi wakati
그래서 그 식량 그 공급이 거기서 끊어지게 되면은 그 레바논이라든지 그 시리아라든지 아니면 이집트가
The
지금
wheat cannot arrive, Ghana.
hivyo basi ngano
보유한 식량이 지금 줄어들기 때문에 큰 충격을 받고 있습니다.
chakula sasa hivi.
Then you know too well that when the wheat is not arriving, there is what we call the bread riots.
na mwajua vyema
그래서 그 미리 도착하지 않으면
Political instability.
kuna ile
그냥 정치적인 불안정이 시작됩니다. 왜냐하면 빵이 부족하기 때문이다.
Bread riots in Sudan overthrew the president of Sudan. That's why the military took over.
mwakumbuka ile
그래서 그 식량 그 위기 때문에 그 수단이 쿠데타가 일어나서 정권이 바뀌었습니다.
Sudan kusini kule Sudan
남수단입니다.
kuna shida kubwa kabisa kiasi
They are
kwamba
called the
rais
bread riots. Bread. The
그래서
bread
그거를
became scarce and the price went up.
빵 폭동이라고 부릅니다.
kwamba ghasia za mkate ya kwamba mkate chakula kilienda juu, bei yake ilienda juu kabisa, hivyo basi kukawepo na ghasia na vita.
And they overthrew the government. Please, can you finish?
Alafu wakatupilia mbali
그 정부를 전복시켰습니다.
alafu jeshi ikachukua sasa.
Wakageuza, sio kutupilia mbali. That's all right. Wow. We've taken a long break without translation, right? But anyway, you remember the bread riots in Tunisia.
여러분 또 튀니시아에서도 빵 폭동이 있었습니다.
Arab unrest.
그리고 아랍의 소요 사태가 그때부터 시작됐습니다.
That began the Arab unrest.
ambayo ilianzisha ile vita vya Uarabu.
Yeah, the Arab Spring, everybody knows.
아랍 봄을 모든 분이 압니다.
From Tunisia to went to Tahrir Square, then it went to Libya, went to Syria, went
타르
to
스퀘어, 리비아, 시리아, 또 이라크까지 그렇게 전파가 됐습니다.
And so you can tell what is ahead in store for the earth right now.
여러분 지금 지구가 이 전쟁을 통해서 지구에게 어떤 일이 닥치고 있는지 여러분 아십니다.
And the price of crude oil has gone up. Russia is one of the biggest suppliers. I think supplies about more than 50% of European natural gas. 40 to 50%, probably around there. Huge. Until even Qatar and other countries said, no, we cannot fill that shoe. We cannot cover that deficit. It's not possible.
러시아 같은 경우 유럽에 공급되는 천연가스의 40~50%를 공급하는 그런 에너지 국가입니다.
Hiyo bei yake imeenda juu kabisa kwa sababu kama vile tujuavyo Urusi ndio huwa wanasambaza asilimia.
They supply Europe 40 to 50% of natural gas. That is not a joke.
Urusi ndio wanasambaza asilimia ya 40 hadi 50 ya ile gesi ambayo inatumika Europa.
That's why the US has activated its national reserves now of energy.
Na ndio sababu sasa
fuel and everything, try to cushion the price because the midterm elections are near also.
ndio sababu sasa
Tremendous time.
미국 같은 경우에도 그런 어떤 충격을 흡수하기 위해서 원유 저장을
They have activated their energy reserves. Their reserves they normally keep and don't use. But because the prices are going up globally of gasoline and everything, now they have brought increased supply from the reserves, the national reserves.
그래서 비상 유리고에서 지금 시장에 원유를 공급하고 있습니다. 가격을 안정시키기 위한 것입니다. 그리고 또 중간 선거가 곧 다가오기 때문입니다.
This is the state of the affair on the earth.
지금 이것이 지구에서 일어나고 있는 일입니다.
Then we have riots, we have protests all over the earth. On your screen, I have breaking news after this, though. But let's first handle this. This is very important for the coming of the Messiah and the coming of tribulation that is near. So let us just go to the protests globally on this war you see in Russia and Ukraine.
러시아 우크라이나 전쟁 때문에 일어나고 있는 전 세계적인 소위 사태를 보겠습니다. 이것은 메시아 오심부터 환란이 오는 것과 직접적인 연관이 있습니다.
And this is St. Petersburg, hundreds of miles away. As expected and true to historical pattern, police in riot gear cracked down on the war protesters and dragged demonstrators away in cuffs. Well, here are his people protesting.
지금 나오는 그 장면은 러시아의 50개 도시에서 일어나고 있는 반푸틴 반전쟁 시위입니다.
And this is St. Petersburg, hundreds of miles away. As expected and true to historical pattern, police in riot gear cracked down on the war protesters and dragged demonstrators away in cuffs. A Russian human rights monitor reports the police arrested more than 1,600 protesters across Russia.
This rally was just outside the White House in Lafayette Park. Protesters carrying Ukrainian flags and signs of support want a stronger response from the Biden administration, including more military support for Ukraine and harsher sanctions against Moscow. People around the world also showing their support for Ukraine. Demonstrators gathered in central London to denounce the actions of Russian President Vladimir Putin. And a similar scene.
제혀의 선포와 야훼의 말씀이 지구를 전체를 흔들고 있습니다.
Banners there and saying, quote, peace to the world and stop war, all in a show of solidarity with the Ukrainian people. And in the country of Georgia, take a look at this. Thousands protesting in the capital of Tbilisi. They're calling for an end to Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
That is the state of the affair.
hivyo basi
이거 지구의 지금 현재 모습입니다.
Global.
kote kote ulimwenguni,
Global.
kote kote
Put the
duniani.
camera on me, we'll be able to move on. Okay, Australia, I can see Australia. Tel Aviv, Israel, okay.
Unaweza kuona
이스라엘 텔레비입니다.
Israel,
South Korea,
Korea Kusini.
I can tell.
한국도 시위에 나섰습니다.
The words of my tongue.
Ni ya kutoaminika kabisa maneno
제 선포의 권능입니다.
And we have people writing to us from Russia, also from Ukraine, from Poland.
kuna watu ambao
We
wanatuandikia
have
toka,
pastors there who are in touch with us.
tunao wachungaji huko ambao wanatuandikia toka Urusi, toka Ukraine, toka Poland.
I think this is Prague. Tremendous.
Ya ajabu, ya ajabu.
The words of my tongue, shaking the whole earth.
Maneno ya
제 선포가 지구 전체를 흔들고 있습니다.
ndiyo ambayo ilikuwa ile ya umoja, ile ya Soviet.
Let's see that missile again coming to them.
Wacha tuone haya makombora tena.
The words of might.
제 혀의 선포.
ya ajabu.
The Lord is doing this that you may fear.
Na Bwana anafanya hivi
주님께 이렇게 하시는 것은 두 선자를 두려워하게 하기 위한 것입니다.
And go to them and ask, how can we prepare?
ili mpate kuogopa
그래서 사람들이 두 선자에게 와서 어떻게 준비해야 되는지를 묻도록 하시는 것입니다.
kujiandaa.
The Russian military launched more than 100 ballistic and cruise missiles into Ukraine last night, also seizing an airport less than 20 miles away from Ukraine's capital of Kyiv.
A huge blast in the center of Ukraine's second largest city. Look at the destruction in Kharkiv, which is about the size of Philadelphia. This guy was shooting a selfie video when a missile struck. Rubble rains down. One civilian posted a video diary as she walked through the rubble.
Russia bombarded yesterday and in the night and this morning the historical center of Kharkiv. This is the downtown. Show this to those in Russia.
It's in the most elaborate show of force since this crisis began. Testing hypersonic and ballistic missiles as part of nuclear exercise.
If a war breaks out, experts say the Kyiv economy will be torn to shreds.
The Russian military on full flex in the most elaborate show of force.
Overnight, more shelling in Ukraine, including the capital city of Kyiv.
The Russian military launched more than 100 ballistic and cruise missiles into Ukraine last night, also seizing an airport less than 20 miles away from Ukraine's capital of Kyiv.
A huge blast in the center of Ukraine's second largest city. Look at the...
Now I can announce to you here that there is a historic war coming to the earth. A historic war is coming to the earth.
역사적인 전쟁이 지구에 닥친다고 저는 선포합니다. 역사적인 전쟁이 지구에 닥칩니다. 저는 끔찍한 전쟁이 지구에 임하는 것을 보았습니다. 저는 전투기를 보았습니다. 알파 전폭기라고 부릅니다. 먼저 적진에 들어가는 투입되는 공격기입니다. 그래서 그런 전투기 조종사들은 자살 특공대라고도 부릅니다.
Because they are the ones who go normally and knock down the anti-aircraft missiles and all of them, the batteries, wherever they are. First of all, disarm them. Now I can announce to you here that there is a historic war coming to the earth. A historic war is coming to the earth.
Sasa ninaweza kuwatangazia hapa ya kwamba kuna vita la kihistoria ambalo linakuja duniani.
There is a historic war coming to the earth.
Kuna lo vita la kihistoria ambalo linakuja duniani.
I have seen a terrible war coming to the earth.
Lakini nimeona vita kali kabisa ambalo linakuja duniani.
In fact, I saw the fighter aircraft.
Hata hivyo niliona zile ndege za kivita.
Those Alpha Strike aircraft, they're called Alpha Strike aircraft.
Zile ndege speciali kabisa za
announce to you here that there is a historic war coming to the earth. A historic war is coming to the earth.
Sasa ninaweza kuwatangazia hapa ya kwamba kuna vita la kihistoria ambalo linakuja duniani.
There is a historic war coming to the earth.
Kuna lo vita la kihistoria ambalo linakuja duniani.
I have seen a terrible war coming to the earth.
Lakini nimeona vita kali kabisa ambalo linakuja duniani.
In fact, I saw the fighter aircraft.
Hata hivyo niliona zile ndege za kivita.
Those Alpha Strike aircraft, they're called Alpha Strike aircraft.
Zile ndege speciali kabisa za kivita.
The ones that strike, they go fast into the enemy territory.
Zile ambazo zinapiga zinaenda kwa haraka kabisa katika eneo la adui.
Even those pilots, they go on what we call suicidal missions.
Hata wale marubani wanaenda katika misheni ambazo zinaitwa misheni za kujiua.
Because they are the ones who go normally and knock down the anti-aircraft missiles and all of them, the batteries, whatever.
Моим домом летает, охраняет, как комаров.
The special operation forces in attack, the strike helicopters going also.
Halafu nikaenda zile ndege speciali kabisa katika vikosi, zile helikopta za kulipua.
Warzone.
Powerful, blessed people. Very, very powerful.
Ya nguvu kabisa.
Комаров.
Russian forces have attacked oil and gas facilities, sparking huge explosions on the fourth day of its land, air and sea invasion of Ukraine. Troops are trying to take over the Vasilkiv air base. That's 40 kilometers southwest of Kiev. An oil depot there is on fire after being hit by a Russian missile.
This is an area that has a large military airfield and multiple fuel tanks. The mayor of the town where this happened, about 18 miles
that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke and a lot of gunfire, a lot of war, a lot of gunfire, a lot of missiles, attack helicopters, they strike aircrafts, and it was just unbelievable.
Russian forces have attacked oil and gas facilities, sparking huge explosions on the fourth day of its land, air and sea invasion of Ukraine. Troops are trying to take over the Vasilkiv air base. That's 40 kilometers southwest of Kiev. An oil depot there is on fire.
In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke and a lot of gunfire, a lot of war, a lot of gunfire.
Vasilkiv air base. That's 40 kilometers southwest of Kiev. An oil depot there is on fire after being hit by a Russian missile.
This is an area that has a large military airfield and multiple fuel tanks. The mayor of the town where this happened, about 18 miles from the center of the capital, says a petroleum storage depot was hit. And here's new video closer to the scene. Quoting from the mayor now, "The enemy wants to destroy everything around." The mayor adding, "The night will be difficult here as well in Kyiv."
Now, on the outskirts of Kiev, a major fire has broken out after Russian missiles hit an oil terminal. Huge flames have been lighting up the night sky in the town of Vasilkiv, which lies some 40 kilometers south of the capital.
On the fourth day of its land, air and sea invasion of Ukraine, troops are trying to take over the Vasilkiv air base. That's 40 kilometers southwest of Kiev. An oil depot there is on fire after being hit by a Russian missile.
This is an area that has a large military airfield and multiple fuel tanks. The mayor of the town where this happened, about 18 miles from the center of the capital, says a petroleum storage depot was hit.
In that war, a lot of gunfire, a lot of war, a lot of gunfire.
Everything around. The mayor adding, "The night will be difficult here as well in Kyiv."
Now, on the outskirts of Kiev, a major fire has broken out after Russian missiles hit an oil terminal. Huge flames have been lighting up the night sky in the town of Vasilkiv, which lies some 40 kilometers south of the capital.
For a fourth night, Russia waged war on its neighbor. This is an oil depot near an airstrip to the south of Kiev. With toxic smoke filling the air, people have been advised to close their windows and stay indoors.
Russia hits Ukrainian oil and gas facilities in wave of attacks.
There was big bombings and a lot of smoke and a lot of gunfire, a lot of war, a lot of gunfire.
As Russia's invasion of Ukraine intensifies.
Russian missile hit Ukrainian oil, gas facilities. Russian forces have attacked oil and gas facilities in Ukraine, sparking huge explosions.
In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke and a lot
Russian forces have attacked oil and gas facilities, sparking huge explosions.
In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke and a lot of gunfire, a lot of war, a lot of gunfire, a lot of missiles, a lot of smoke and a lot of gunfire.
To residential buildings below.
Military airfield and multiple fuel tanks.
In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of
18 miles from the center of the capital, says a petroleum storage depot was hit. And here's new video closer to the scene. Quoting from the mayor now, "The enemy wants to destroy everything around."
Bombings and a lot of smoke. In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke. In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke. In that war, there was big bombings and a lot of smoke. bombing, then a lot of smoke, and a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke, big bombing, then a lot of smoke. In that war, there was big bombing, then a lot of smoke. War, there was big bombing, then a lot of smoke, then a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke.
Kwa leo tunazo habari za kipaumbele.
It is now coming to about 11 o'clock.
Inaelekea saa
이제 감 11시가 다 됐습니다.
Exactly 11 o'clock, blessed people.
hivi sasa ni saa
11시입니다.
majira ya Afrika Mashariki, watu
And
wabarikiwa.
tonight we are breaking news. There's a cripple that has walked on your screen right away.
Na usiku wa leo
오늘 밤에는 그 불구자가 일어나는 속보가 있습니다.
runinga zenu moja kwa moja.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Crippled from the waist down.
허리 아래가 불구했습니다.
Cannot even crawl.
기지도 못했습니다.
Cannot even crawl.
hawezi hata kutambaa.
Look at those legs.
다리 보세요.
They have now become like dry wood.
sasa zimekuwa kama
마치 마른 나무처럼 됐습니다.
Thank the Lord that He has allowed me to come and minister before you people.
그렇기 때문에 주님께서 여러분 앞에 나와 섬기게 하신 것입니다.
Because then people can get up and walk.
그래서 불구자들이 일어날 수 있게 된 것입니다.
Because then the anointing of the power of the blood of Jesus will be established.
그래서 예수 그리스도의 보혈의 그 권능이 세워지게 하시는 것입니다.
The legs have what we call dead weight. Dead weight.
다리는 완전히 감각이 없습니다.
Totally paralyzed from the waist, could not even crawl.
허리 아래로 완전히 그 마비가 됐기 때문에 기지도 못했습니다.
Could not stand.
걷지도 서지도 못했습니다.
Was totally crippled.
완전히 불구했습니다. 허리 아래가 죽어 있었습니다.
Legs were totally dead.
다리가 완전히 죽어 있었습니다.
Could not sleep sideways.
그리고 옆으로 누워서 자지도 못했습니다.
She only slept on her back.
등을 누워서만 잘 수 있었습니다.
In Kitui,
기토입니다.
Mevoni village.
메보니
And when I
마을입니다.
came on radio and said, at this command, at this announcement, cripples will get up and walk.
제가 라디오를 통해서 이 명령에 따라서 불구자들이 걸을 것이라고 선포했었습니다.
Cripples will now get up and walk yesterday. Then she got up and walked. Look at that. Look at where she got up. Look at
보십시오. 일어나 걷습니다.
And yet today I had such a powerful message for you.
오늘 여러분에게 엄청난 메시지가 있습니다.
But we are flooded avalanche of miracles and wonders.
그러나 우리는 그 기사와 기적으로 가득 넘치고 있습니다.
The world war happening with Russia to come to cripples, to come to the message. We are totally overswallowed.
러시아 전쟁과 그 다음에 그 치유의 기적 그리고 메시지까지
Finally, the Lord gave our life from our waist to the legs.
마침내 주님께서 허리 아래로 감각을 되찾아 주셨습니다.
And they resurrected. The waist and the legs resurrected.
허리 아래에 다리까지 부활했습니다. 이제 다리 아래가 살아있는 것을 느낍니다. 이제 신발까지 신고 걷습니다. 그래서 한 발짝 한 발짝 이제 걸을 수 있게 됩니다. 할렐루야.
Sasa naweza kutengemeza hizo miguu kusongesha mguu mmoja kwenda mbele na mwingine mbele, mwingine nyuma, mwingine mbele.
기토입니다. 마이티
Jesus.
예수님
Fire. Awesome. Awesome. Yahweh. Yahweh. Jesus. Mighty. Thank you. Asante. 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 Finally restored. One family at a time.
Hatimaye amerejeshwa familia moja kwa wakati.
One family at a time.
한 번에 한 가족씩 치유하고 계십니다.
Removing them from danger.
kuondoka
그들을 위험에서 사망에서 건지고 계십니다.
Walking today, walking better. From the church. From the church. Walking better. Hallelujah.
지금도 잘 걷습니다. 할렐루야.
Even the skin life has entered her, walking better.
생명이 저 여자에게 들어왔습니다. 이제 더 잘 걷습니다.
Very mighty.
엄청납니다.
people.
Nyeti kabisa, watu wabarikiwa.
Very, very serious. Again, the time now is about 19 minutes. About 19 minutes past 11 o'clock p.m.
Hivi sasa ni saa
네,
5 na dakika
밤 11시 9분입니다.
Afrika Mashariki.
And so 11 o'clock p.m.
Hivi sasa ni saa 5 na dakika
네, 밤 11시.
And so we are going to take a short worship break. When you come back, then I'll give you the message. We had such an extensive message, but we have so much happening. We are not able to bring you the total message.
tunaenda kuchukua pumziko.
네, 잠시 찬양을 듣고 와서 메시지를 전하겠습니다. 메시지가 너무 길지만 너무 많은 일이 일어나기 때문에 전체를 다 전하지는 못할 것입니다.
We have a big message here for you.
여기에 여러분을 위한 큰 메시지가 있습니다.
And I had it in almost 3 parts.
거의 3부로 된 것입니다.
The Lord spoke by voice.
주님께서 음성으로 말씀하셨습니다.
And he said they will awake.
Na akasema ya kwamba wataamka.
Some to everlasting life.
Wengine kwa maisha ya milele.
Some to everlasting, others to everlasting shame and everlasting contempt.
많은 자들이 깨어나 영생으로 들어가는 자가 있고 또 그 수치와 부끄러움을 당할 자도 있을 거라고 말씀하셨습니다. 끔찍한 심판이요 정죄입니다.
So we will see that we have so much for you into the message of glorification. God speaking from heaven.
영어롭게 되는 것에 대해서 많은 메시지가 있습니다. 하나님께서 천국으로부터 말씀하셨습니다.
Just how much a flood we have here. That's why even our broadcast team are not able to catch up. They cannot cope up, you know. And so let us have some worship break. When you come back, I'll give the message. Thank you.
Wacha tupate uombe mmoja wa kuabudu, nitakaporudi tutakupeana ujumbe.